What do President Bush, President Obama, and President Trump all have in common? I'll tell you in just 1 minute. Besides that they were all presidents. I'll tell you in just 1 second. First, my name is Brent Latulip. I am the author of The Art of Raising Children for Greatness, Revealing School. I'm also the president of Blue Manor Academy. Bush, Obama, and Trump, besides all being U.S. presidents, they all went to prep school. Most of you don't know this, I would think. Prep schools are not just your average private school. They're high-end, elite, usually boarding schools. And the tuition ranges anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 a year. They're really expensive. So these guys all went to high-end, elite prep schools. And actually, if you look at who's who in America, it's crazy how many of them attended elite prep schools. In fact, in the world of the elites, it's not which college you attend, like the Ivy Leagues. It's which prep school you attended. That's considered, the elite. Most of these people who are anti-choice, like Obama, he was an anti-choicer. He doesn't believe in your kids being allowed to go to a private school, definitely not a prep school. He thinks that they should go to the public school system, and we should make that work. But his kids, they go to a special elite prep school. They went to Sidwell Friends. I think it's like $40,000, $50,000 a year for Sidwell Friends. So think about that. He's shelling out that much money to keep his kids out of your kids' school. And as I talked about before in the last video, the public school system is designed to raise your kids for the basic kind of menial labor that's in high demand. We need tons of it. We need tons of shelf stockers. We only need a few doctors and lawyers, and we need one president every 4 years. One president. So the elites understand that most of the kids need to go to the public school system so they can be raised for commonness, the Common Core, and then they're going to send their kids to these elite prep schools. And what's really upsetting is when you hear somebody like Obama, he's so much against the choice movement, school choice, so that federal dollars can be used to put your kids into a good school. He's against it, but he's putting his kids into a private elite school because he knows the quality is way better. He understands the distinction. What's more upsetting too is they understand how to make these public schools great. They could do it if they wanted to. Obama understands what's making the prep schools great. They could just take what's so good about the prep schools and implement that into the public education system. But they don't, because they want different results. Prep schoolers make up, it's been a while since I looked it up. I think it's like 0.5% of the population. Think about that, 0.5% of the population, but they make up the last 5 presidencies have been to this 0.5% of the population, these prep schoolers. So prep schoolers pretty much rule the world at this point. And if your kids are in a public school system, it's going to be super hard for them to break through that because those kids are being raised for communists while the prep schoolers are literally being raised to rule the world, to be the great CEOs, the businessmen. They're getting put on separate tiers. So there's this illusion of equality, like, they're both getting an education, they're both going to 13 years of school. The quality of education, it's actually not just the quality of education. The path that it's putting them on is taking them totally different directions. The public school kids are going to look like they have a fair chance. They're going to enter the ring of the real world, and you're going to have these prep schoolers who've been just trained for greatness, and they're going to meet. It's going to look like a fair fight, and the prep school is going to kick the snot out of them. It would be like training kids for an MMA fight, but one coach is like teaching yoga and he's hardly shows up and, they do lots of meditation. And then the other guy is being trained by like top UFC fighters. He's training all the time. He's running all the time. He's got the best coaches in the world. They're going to meet in the ring and it's going to look like, they both have a fair opportunity to get in the ring, but the prep school is just going to annihilate him. I actually got to experience this. I'm not like an elite. I got in so much trouble. My parents or my mom took out a mortgage to send me to a boarding school. So I got to go to one of these elite prep schools. And I can tell you the difference between the public school education and even the private schools. I've been to those too. And an elite prep school education is night and day. And so I got to see it firsthand. And it's really sad. I mean, most public schoolers, I see how hard they're working and stuff. And I do feel like they're being set up for failure. Now, I don't recommend elite prep schools. That's not where my kids go. I'll tell you what I do for my kids later. Well, the first reason was it's really expensive. I couldn't afford it. But as time has gone on, I've realized I don't need the prep schools. I can do a better job. I have a better solution. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. So again, my name is Brent Latulip. I've written 2 books on education, and I have actually a whole series. The Art of Raising Children for Greatness is a series. The first book is going to be out right away. It's The Art of Raising Children for Greatness, Education. Then we're going to have Character. Then we're going to have The Noble Way. And then I'm going to have one last special book. So you can pick that up right now. And if you want to know more about how the public education system is designed to fail children, you can read Revealing School. It's a great book. At the end of this, you guys can get a free chapter from that book just to get you started. And hopefully you'll find the rest on Amazon. Talk to you guys later.